Hi guys, this is David in Vancouver with part 3 of Vancouver Mystery Missile 2015. This is the photograph I took on July 14th at 6:07 a.m. going across the Cambie Street Bridge in a north direction. Some have suggested that this is a hobby club or somebody with, because the plume is a white plume, it looks like more water vapor. Some have suggested that it's possibly a hydrogen-oxygen type of vehicle or rocket or missile. So let's start from the very ground and work our way up here. Here's waterrockets.com. Build your own DIY homemade water bottle rocket, flies over 100 feet high. I think it's a bit more than 100 feet. So let's work our way up here. We've got this one, which is the Bonsai Titan Blast inflatable rocket. Massive 7-foot inflatable rocket, launches up to 100 feet in the air. I happened to find a video of this one, so let's watch this one fire off. There's the family sitting by waiting there. Hey, hello there, guys. Stand back. This is going to be a ginormous launch here. Are you ready? Okay. The tension is building. Look at that. And the plume is nowhere to be seen. Anyway, so then we've obviously worked our way up to multi-stage. Again, these don't go beyond, say, 100 feet in the air at most, and certainly aren't guided by any sort of intelligent control or anything like that. This is another one of these water rockets, and this is the highest in the world by the University of Cape Town, and they shot this one off. You can play this one while we read this. Group led by, assisted by group members. The rocket reached an altitude of 835 meters in its first flight. Now notice how flat the ground is, first of all, right off the bat. And you'll be able to see this. Here we go. Very exciting. It's making me dizzy. And that's it. It's a world record. 835 meters. Look at that. But look at the ground. It's completely flat. There's some mountains over there, but this is flat ground. You need to fire any kind of rocket or missile off on flat ground. So let's stop that one. Either way, it's coming back down to the ground now. It's just been fired up in the air, and it's going to come simply straight back down. Then let's move our way up again. Here's some from NASA, some information on the hydrogen, oxygen type of rocket, because liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen are both cryogenic gases that can be liquefied only at extremely low temperature. They pose enormous technical challenges. Used mostly in NASA programs. We don't have NASA in Canada, by the way. Atlas, Boeing's Delta III and IV rockets, which are not Canadian made nor used in Canada. Anyhow, again, examples of those rockets are right here. Here's a homemade one that has sort of a hydrogen oxygen type of a mix.
The first stage hooked, and we are ready for launch. All's clear. Okay. And fire.
Yellow. Yellow means run. Okay, anyhow, that was rather some other examples of hydrogen rockets. Quite a large rocket, I must say, with quite a large launching pad required and a very flat surface upon which to fire said rocket. And then a bunch of mumbo jumbo about liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen, and an igniter and a nozzle. So yes, it might leave somewhat of a vapor-like trail, but it definitely is. Oh look, here's one that looks almost exactly like mine. That's probably what it was. It's an Indian Express rocket that was fired. So let's take a look at that one. Way up. That is a ginormous piece of kit right there. and again, must be fired on a flat surface. You can't, anyway, you can't wheel these things up a hill or take it up to a mountain or anything like that. So my point in all of that is, and all this talk about mountains and other types of things, is I matched the my photo up with maps and put a little pin as to where my vehicle was, and where I was facing was, you can see a lower building along here, a lower building along here, a stadium here, a stadium here, a tower here, that's this tower right here, and right between all of those is where this was fired from. So approximately between that little V right there, looking right up there. So if we draw a straight line right between these buildings on the left hand side of this tower and straight up, we've got right around here. Somewhere back in here. Again, this is the Grouse Mountain Resort. So we're looking past here, somewhere past here. I don't see any water here. There's a lake down here, but I don't know about this area in here. So it could have been right in this divot here that it was launched from. But definitely not an area to be wheeling a giant rocket into. And again, you have to take a tram up to here and then hike for a couple of hours or more to get into this area here where this might have been fired from. So there's no other way to get up there. There's no roads, there's nothing, and certainly you couldn't cart a giant piece of rocket kit up into the mountains in this area up here and back into this backcountry here without being seen, or I don't think it's even possible to. So the hydrogen rocket theory is out the window. So we'll close these down. And I want to show you, well, starting with mine as well, just how many of these I'm finding. More and more. We've got, probably 6 now. So mine is the very first one that started my curiosity in all this. And we've got these ones. The Los Angeles one. Now, what most people don't know is there were 2 in Los Angeles. One on November 8th. And at the end of this one, or close to the end of this one, he puts up, click to see the contrail that happened the following evening. And again, this is the one from the next day, November 9th. And you can see
Military officials say they were looking into this video that appears to show an object shooting across the sky and leaving a large vapor trail. But officials with the North American
the exact same type of vapor trail, she calls it, the newscaster. And then further along, weirdly enough, this is another one that was captured in San Diego. And I can't verify this one, and I've done no research into this one whatsoever, but it's in the same newscast. And then another one. So then we've got this gentleman, Chi-Town View, another one, looking west in Chicago. And the same gentleman capturing this one, looking east in Chicago, exactly the opposite direction. both the same. Finally, I want to focus on this one from Look Now TV. The best evidence yet, the exact same anomaly. Now this one, you can start to see right past here. Look at this. Right now, what's that? An object. Did you see it? Rewind this video if you didn't. There it is again. Here's the object. Here's the object with some more advanced filtering done to it. You can see the Look Now logo in the background. And all the other stuff beyond this here in the photo is anomalies created by the software. But this is essentially, and this is what we're looking at. Different kind of filter. I think it's called glowing edges. You want to see what that object is? That. 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 Now, some people might say that these have been manipulated in some way. You can see the pixels. Some people say that there's too many pixels, or the pixels indicate that it's been placed in the picture. Let's zoom in on this photo, and you'll see the pixels are blended perfectly. There is not a single pixel distorted in this, meaning it's not been placed there. Ask any photography expert. This photo has not been placed. Every single pixel here matches up and blends in with the next. Not been placed here. Right down to the edges, you can see that is absolutely impossible to duplicate. This photo has not been manipulated in any way, shape, or form other than to enhance it. You can see it's a donut-shaped object. Now, I'd said before that the craft disappeared out of the frame. Here's the wires that we passed by, and you'd seen it right there. That craft, that black object that you saw in the video. Here it is right here with this enhanced. Here it is again. I've enhanced each one of these frames, and you can see the object back, forth, gaining distance from the plume, separating itself from the plume. 1, 2, further, 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 and gone. There's the plume right there. You want to see that again? Back down. Rising out of the frame. There are the wires, and with each successive frame, an object, a round object, not a missile, a round donut-shaped object rises from the plume and disappears out of the frame. Thanks, guys. Take care.